with that, for you guys, would be, okay. Yeah, it's overview, identify TMK, I'll cover that, proper rating litter procedures, really just getting them on the litter. And then, and properly deploying it. And then proper EPW procedures, we'll show you right now, just, hey, how would we handle EPW? Very nice. So, before you do special teams, what's the prior command? It's gonna get, like, trigger special teams. LOA, right? It stands for? Limited. Okay, so that's a big one, right? The only thing, hear those words, and then immediately, as you guys start building your flow, you're like, hey, we already know EPW is coming, right? And then with that, what has to happen first before in litter? EPW, right? So I don't know if you guys talked about when you make your SOPs. The big thing is going to be you have clear and search, right? For the EPW. So what's the difference between search, Alex? Search and clear. What's the difference?
Clearing, you don't search.
Okay, pretty simple, right? He's sure they're cleared of what? Okay, weapons, any type of like ordnance, right? If they have something like, if there's a pressure plate, if there's like a C4 or something with a trigger, with that, are you gonna touch them if you see something underneath them?
Yes.
Would you touch them? Like I saw, they were laying down and I saw there was like a pressure plate or some kind of device underneath them there or something. Would you touch them? No, right? Don't touch them. So that's something that they really emphasize, but it's something that, hey, like, why would I do that? Why would I roll them over to have a chance of dying, right? So we'll just mark those off, like a TTP you guys come up with. I recommend you do it. The JFTX I did, and I can't. Just mark them like engineer tape, if you have it, or put some sticks around them and lay right up piece of paper like UXL, but you put that shit down. That's all I think. That's something to think outside the box and be like, oh, that's very creative, right? So we'll just get into EPW. Starts here, Ian. He's going to be the one to instruct it.
Yes.
All right.
All right, so in order to do EPW, you've got to hit your LOA. You've got to start clearing the area. You've got to have 100% security. And you need 2 people at the bare minimum for EPW. Hold that, please. One person who is guarding the end, well, guarding the person, so, what is it?
Conducting the search.
Yes, conducting the search. Another person actually searching the body. So whenever we come to a body, we first inspect to see if there are any pressure plates like we mentioned, anything poking out that could be seen as a threat. And then I will hand off my weapon to my partner and start conducting the search. Firstly, come up, inspect, there's nothing crazy, and get the weapon away from him if he has one. Maybe blown off to the side or something. God did somewhere over there. But get the weapon away, and then you're going to have your partner posting in far enough away that they can move out of the way for.
That'd be further back.
Yes, further back. But at like a 45-degree angle to where you're pointing. You're gonna grab the person, flip them over. They're going to have their weapon pointed in case the enemy tries to pull out another weapon or have a grenade possibly. And let's say they do have a grenade. I will flip over.
Grenade. As you jump
And then the grenade will either go off or not. Say there's no grenade. Flip them over.
Clear.
Alright, you flip him back over, and you cross his legs to indicate that he is clear. And then you go to the next person, the next EPW that they have to clear. Once you're done with that, then you'll go back and start searching. You'll get him flipped over, and you'll search him for everything. Once he's done, if you found any information, you'll
Regress. Sorry.
yeah. If you have the information that you like find in his pockets or whatever, you'll take that. And then once he's cleared, you'll cross his arms and you'll put his boot on his head to show that he's completely 100% clear. Move on to the next person. Do that until everyone's done. But the reason that we first clear them and cross their legs and move on is that we want to get this done as soon as possible so that aided later can start working on our guys. So once we've cleared them of any weapons or grenades, we'll say EPW cleared.
No, say EPW clear or initially call out that aid and litter, right? But usually you want to say EPW clear and let the PL be the one to initiate the aid and litter, if it's even needed, right? Hopefully you're taking no casualties, you don't have to worry, and you just proceed to move on, right?
And then you'll start searching for information. Once that's done, you're completely done with EPW.
If there's a grenade, you throw the enemy back onto it to protect me in this instance.
Yes. You don't want to just leave the grenade open. It's a bigger blast radius. Throw them back on.
And if you're going through, you'll hear certain things. Another mark is like, hey, as you're going through and you're clearing, the objective is now saying like, hey, one EPW or one KIA or just something, right? So it gives those key identifiers as you guys are proceeding through. You're hearing 8, 2 KIA, 3 KIA, something that you have a number, right? So and the PL obviously. Once you hit the LOA, you initially special teams, right? You have your primary comes from where? That's one, right? And then your aid and litter primary comes from? S2, right? So assault 2 and assault 1. That's how, and then for 1s and 2s, you guys will get free what the 3's come up with. But is understanding like as soon as that LOA is hit, EPW is already coming to the center point to meet with the PLs, right? So they can get the commands. All right, any questions? What
So are we not searching their back? Because when you went to start your searching, you just roll them straight over. What if they have something on their back?
You probably see it.
Yeah. So he's saying right from their back initially, do a back pat down and then roll them over to the front, right? So say on their waistline or something like that, like you do want to check those things. And during that, when we have said things, we'll tell you, you'll ask, but do you have anything on you? And we'll tell you, yes, we do, or no, we don't.
Yeah, for the most part, if you're searching an enemy at field training or at camp, you'll go through and searching. You're not going to actually pat them down. For the most part, they'll say they have a bunch of their own personal belongings. You'll just say like, do you have anything? And it'll be like, yes, I have information, or no, I don't.
Another one too is that when you roll them over, you can be like grunt check, right? And as you like, you know, take a knee and you like see if they're awake, something like that thing, right? If they're just faking it, starting to run, whatever. All right, any other thing? All right, we're doing any litter. We'll just bring it over here.
We got one more question.
What you got?
Are we reaching in the pockets?
No.
Well, that's what I'm just saying. Just literally, what you would really do is check them, right? Like you don't care about them, you're gonna check them. For training and all that, we'll tell you, and as well as when you go to camp, you really say, do you have anything on you? And like, nursery checking you, do you have anything on you? They'll say no. They don't want to be there any more than you want to be there.
Be respectful. Someone at my group got a negative spot report during the middle of an EPW search. She charged a pal. Like they had slapped the person's like chest, searching for stuff.
All right. So, better litter, shitty. This is the one you're gonna have when you go to camp. Most likely, if you have one at all. So,
We're gonna use the.
yeah, we're gonna use. I'll just use this one. I'm gonna use 2. That one's gonna take like 6 people, and that takes you out of that fight rate because numbers matter. So, car rate litter real quick. So when you set this up, just initially, when that was already done it, you'll have 2 people. It makes it easier. You can do it with 1 person. But you have these handles, and you're gonna rotate them out from engaging these points and locking them out. And then it's easier to just sit down. I'm gonna use my foot, and I'm just gonna lock it up. Make sense? And then said litter is ready for the casualty. Oh. He's an instructor. I'll be the guy.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name's Cadet Rivera. and
Got shot in my back like a coward.
How did you aid and litter? All right, so at this point, most likely TCCC is either has happened or is going to happen. Just depends on the scenario, what's happening. Okay. So once aid and litter is called, you're gonna run up with your special team, with everybody who's on that team. Say Sergeant C is also on my special teams. We're gonna identify this injury here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to probably move him to a triage zone. Okay. So that way that's gonna work is we're gonna be efficient. We're gonna use this carrier. So what we're gonna do is first we're gonna be like, does he have a spine injury? If he doesn't, we're gonna get him rolled over. So roll over his back. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this litter in position, okay? So usually this is like a 2-person job. One person's gonna get on this side while the other person gets the litter prepared.
Send it mine your way.
Alright, what's gonna happen now is I'm gonna tell him I'm about to prepare to roll him. He needs to be ready to place the litter under the body. Preparing to roll. Lower. Yeah. Now, This is the part that requires some depth of steering, okay? Yeah, you got, yeah, right. So, there's gonna be straps on the litter, and they have there's like a configuration, I'm not sure off the top of my head right now, but there's a large variety of them. This one needs to go back on the other side. But you wanna secure them in, making sure that they don't roll off, okay? Because if you drop them, it's probably gonna hurt them more. You don't want that to happen. Also, it's gonna be very uneven terrain if you're running through the jungle or the woods. They're gonna fall off if you don't do that, so. You're gonna have another strap usually, but besides that, you just wanna make sure they're secured and they're not gonna roll off. Alright, so next, we're gonna have to transport them. So we're gonna get on a knee, everybody's gonna take a knee. Depends on how heavy the person is, you might need another person. You're gonna say, prepare to lift 1, 2. You're heavy. Alright, and now, you're gonna transport them to wherever you need to go. Sound good? Alright.
So what they mess up on right now when they lifted them?
Lift it with my back. No.
What is it?
The head person is supposed to give all the commands because that's the most crucial part of the body. Also, one of you should have been facing the other way. Normally it's the head person.
You're all right.
You guys got that?
It was a test.
That's my bad. Okay, I should have got that, so.
He was testing you.
And then when you're lowering, it's prepared to lower and then lower. When just both of you agree you're going down.
Everything in the military has commands. Same commands will be given. You're all right.
Yep.
Great.
I think we'll leave you there for the rest of the day.
Okay, no. It's really easy. In doing so, they have bigger bodies. Get you engaged. Hey, so you have things, right? They have a uniform. Grab set things on uniform. So it's a bigger person, like if it's not Sonya or somebody. I'm gonna end up like putting an arm across, using leverage, putting this one here. I'm gonna grab their belt, and I'm usually gonna grab their collar or some kind of material. And then I'm gonna pull it, right? So use things that you have on them. Don't just try to muscle them. And I'll help you out. And then we'll teach you guys not this time, but we'll go over like in the field or go over carries, things like that, how to move individuals, how to move somebody as big as that, right? Done a CST, show people you should not, you can be as strong as you want, but eventually you're either gonna get tired or I'm not gonna physically be able to pick them up because I'll have a kid on, real world, whatever. We'll show you certain carries that's easy, like you, low, and Durban. I'll pick them up if you really need to. I believe in it. So we'll test it in the field. All right. Any questions on that one?
When I'm pulling the person over to put them onto the litter, can I drop to both knees instead of just one? That way the litter can actually get under the person.
Yeah, you as the one doing it, of course. Yeah, any way you need to possibly do it, you're gonna go here, whatever you need. I just go up. Also, if they have an injured side, right? You wanna roll it on one side, or non-injured side or injured side? Okay. You don't wanna say that collapse long, whatever. Well, that's different. Don't roll when they're good long. But on the injury.
How do you get them on the carry if they do, say, have like a back injury or something like that? How would you go about that?
So you're gonna have to keep their head stable. That's like how all EMTs say. So at that point, you're probably gonna have to be very, very precise in how you do it. You're gonna have to like have someone stabilize their head if they have a neck injury, and you have a neck brace that you wanna put on them before you even get them moving around. With head injuries, you need to make sure that spinal column is stable and is not disturbed. Do you have anything else to add?
There's a stroke collar, or that's the name of it. It goes around their neck, you put them on. And then now you gotta think too is get them out of the zone and get a critical injury or try not to injure another stuck there. You know, give and take. Like, you want to save your life or not? But yeah, there's a collar that you actually use, which you don't have here.
It's a
You put on.
3, but
Oh, as well? All right.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, we're gonna TMK over. With the TMK, right, this is just gonna be like a map, geographical representation from above, drawn to scale, right? So with that, this is gonna be a representation to give the platoon, really the PL, that overall image they need to describe to you what portion of your outboard. So what part of the outboard are you really gonna focus, this TMK gonna focus on? Mission. Okay, mission with the execution, right? Like how am I doing said thing? Because I can just tell you all day, but if I don't really show you, some people don't learn that way, they'll see it. So you'll have your map. What you guys will have here is like certain checklists as well, just so you don't have to think about it too much. And you have your TMK. So with the TMK, you build the TMK that you think is best, right? Where you have those materials you can add to. There's a minimum that you can add to said things. Some people had like 3D printed golf tees and like ORPs, objectives, all these things. This gets the job done, and it's free. You don't have to worry about here. So with that, you have your protractor, you'll have your map, you have things that I use 550 to identify the grid lines, different identifiers like roads, different colors for water, say areas that you can't be in for the danger areas, other roads, whatever 550, anything that you need, objective, assembly area, or your patrol base, main supply routes, things like that, the different ones, represent enemy, whatever you got. So rather than me laying it out, just drew one out real quick. So your big things in the orange are things that you'll should have on your TMK. But the big thing, I'll start off by putting, let me backtrack more. When you guys are doing this and setting it up, initially this is happening, like you should have that pace and compass, whoever they are, like they're engaging and knocking out that TMK. So while the PL is getting the frago, somebody's already in the center setting up that TMK, right? So that's one less thing you have to worry about to delegate. You guys already have a flow. Big thing would be, I'm just gonna grab this for you since you have it here, a pointer, right? Anything I do, I never point my finger, I point with something. Since you wanna play with that, then you keep that. So I'm gonna point with this, right? Big thing I'm setting up, I'm putting those 4 squares, or made it 4 golf tees I like to use, and I'm making my grid lines. I'm immediately gonna identify with paper, with one of these, you can use like the back one, whatever, any paper, where am I at, so I know, right? So I have those grid squares, that grid square identified. So it'd be for this one, it'd be a click, right? Then a grid square. I'm gonna draw what the scale is, so the PL knows, and I'll have a legend in case anything I need to identify. We all know blue represents what?
Water.
All right. Water, this would be like an area, like a non-firing area, don't go into. Railroad, right? I would literally draw on something and be like, hey, this is a railroad. Patrol base, we all know, because they're identified with PB. And then some other things, you need to have a north, right? Identify, orient your TMK to the direction, right? That is huge. So when you set it up, ensure you pull out your compass, right? And be like, which way is north? So I know to face it that way, because when the PL looks at the map, and when you look at the map, you know what direction you're traveling and going. Other key, like I said, some water. So where I picked, I wrote the grids here, so when you guys do practice, it already has the grid. But I marked where I am, because I need to know that. I need to know where the objective is, right? So initially I'm gonna, and the 1s and 2s I talked to you about it last Friday, I have that map down. I'll pull my protractor out. Well, work the game, right? When you're out there and you're trying to listen to the frago if it's close enough, right? So you can already write down the grids. So they're giving it. Depending on your cadre and your camp, you can use your Garmin and start pulling grids. Depends if they let you or not. But there's things to work. And like I said, it's important during your brief, or during that frago, ask where you are, because then you'll never be able, you won't know. And that's something else that burns time, because time is never your friend. So I use my protractor though. I would plot those set grids of where I am. So for this one, representing, patrol base is here, and my objective is here. So immediately though, what I want to do as the PL, when I give my warn out, I want to give a distance and direction to my squad leaders, or whoever's in your huddle. I'll pull that distance direction, and I'll write down, so distance would be in what representation? Feet, yards,
Meters.
meters, right? So it'll be in meters, so just say 300, and I give a direction. Most likely this is north, so that's what? Okay, that's south. So let's just say these are perfect on line. So if that's 0 degrees, 180, right? So I'll be like, okay, I'm going 180 at 300 meters, right? Or 300 meters at 180. So to represent, now from your guys' classes, if it's only 300 meters away, am I gonna do an ORB? Most likely not, right? I'm gonna turn my patrol base into an ORB. And some other things, like I said, that you can use. You can add other terrain, and you can use actual vegetation out there. If you want to like build a little mound or whatever, or represent a hill, whatever you want to have to. If there's any friendlies, any control points or checkpoints, any rally points, ORPs, and possible routes, right? If you say, hey, this is our primary route, but if for some reason this creek, it's not that big, it would be so flooded that we can't get there, an alternate route would be to come around or something, right? You just brief that. And then you can also have, which you should, you'd have said, this is the big picture, right? The macro, and I would draw another one, or I wouldn't draw them, I would just make another one. I always usually attach it. And here would be that micro timeline or micro movements where I'm gonna add, like if it's the scheme maneuver through the objective itself, And then, that'd be the main focus. This one I can add here and be like, okay, when we travel, it's gonna be, AS1, whatever, PL, AS2, PSG, and then, security over here, if you want it that way. Usually flips, and then weapons, and weapons. Right, so it's like, okay, hey, we know what the FOOM is, and then what's FOOM? It's an acronym, right? What's FOOM? Formations and order of march, right? Okay. Reset order of movement. So that'd be like the FOOM that we're traveling in is set for that movement. And then here I would add if there was what to say. Let me just draw a. This would be the kill zone, right? Say we're setting up for an ambush. This would be the kill zone, and then I would have. By fire, say if I did assaulting element 1 and 2, and then left side security, right side security. Why am I having a brain fart?
S&O.
Yeah. S&O's here, right? You draw said things, and you're like, this is cool. Whatever it would be, boom. And it looks all pretty. But then I see here that I have that on there, and then I can move those parts, right? So when you're going through and you're briefing as the PL and you're doing your scheme maneuver in the execution, don't just point, right? 'Cause people do that, they're like, oh, once I initiate fires with my pace plan, it's like, hey, it's gonna be a mortar, indirect fire, mortars, 240 on my radio on a foxtail, which is like something you throw. They'll just point and be like, they're gonna do this, they're gonna go here. It's like actually move those pieces and show people what it's gonna be, right? So as I push through, support by fire goes, I don't wanna get too into the weeds, but they're gonna end up shifting fire on my whistle. 1 whistle, 2 whistles is gonna be to cease fire. And then AS1, AS2, we're gonna push the objective till they hit the LOA. Things like that, you know what I mean? But I would have 2 of those things on my scale, just so you can brief that to your squad leaders, team leaders, whatever you want. Other than that, it's down and dirty. Any questions? No? Cool. All right, so you guys have your sheets. We'll be in said location, so I'll be here for the TMK. EPW, I have 2 stations going over there, and then 8 of it will be on this little cubicle right here. So for your guys' time,
do you mind if I'm with you?
I think you said what, 9:50?
Yeah.
You guys are going to?
We were into these rotations.
Yeah. So we'll just get after it. Like if you have any set training that you want to focus on, really for the 3s, just make sure you go through these with that grader. Everybody else, you should go through if you can, or I recommend, but I want you to understand the foundation of what we're teaching. I'm not worried about that sheet. So, all right, and ready, Rich.